Okay, students, this session is coming to you. It's probably you haven't joined in. We are recording this, so you are probably watching this at a later time. As you are well aware, this is your 11th week, and I'm just coming to you to bring you information about your final assessments. As you know, so far you have submitted the following assessments, which you see on your screen there. So far you completed your first two tests, which were online test 1 and 2 on those dates that you see there. And I have received from you, many of you, your lesson plans and your scratch certificates as well. For those of you that have not responded to my emails, I have reached out to you. Some of you, I'm not sure if you are having difficulties with your data or what exactly your side of the spectrum may be in terms of your data connectivity. Perhaps you're not receiving messages or whatever. Please email me and let me know before the cutoff date. As you know, we do have a cutoff date for these assessments. If you have submitted, this isn't for you, but for those of you that have not submitted, please reach out to me on email. I will post up my email at the end. If you are having issues, please reach out to me. As you know, there is one final assessment which is due tomorrow, I believe, which is the 5th of June, which is your infographic. And like I've explained to you in the previous Q&A session, this infographic is dealing with the aspect of algorithms and flowcharts. So as I said in the previous Q&A session before, your flowchart or your infographic should be able to meet the requirements of the rubric, and I have provided the marking rubric for you guys. Please use that as a guideline for this assessment. If you look at the slide that I've shared with you, you'll see I've created an example flowchart for you, or infographic, that deals with algorithms and flowcharts, and then I go on to use a basic example of a programming problem. So you will observe that the program problem is stated in the first initial box, where I tell, or the program problem is stated as, write a program that calculates a user specified number or amount of Fibonacci numbers. So many people may not even understand what that is. What is a Fibonacci number? And for that reason, this infographic, as you will see in your rubric as well, you are required to explain what the problem question is, explain what is meant in terms of answering the solution, and also provide an example. In my example, you'll see over here, I provided a Fibonacci sequence, and it depicts basically how you would calculate numbers in this sequence. And once I give the viewer of this flowchart the problem question and how the solution will be formed in text, I've also provided a depiction of how the sequence is attained as well for the benefit of the viewer. I then go on to actually provide a algorithm in pseudocode, which you see on the middle of the screen over here. So this pseudocode, I believe, is covered previously in my slides. I'm not sure exactly which week, but I provide a similar legend, and I explain to you the different what you call this syntax that is used for pseudocode, as you know, and as you can see, all the pseudocode is pasted on the left hand side of your screen. And for the viewers' benefit, for those people who may not be clued up, I've also provided comments. Okay, so as a programmer, whenever you are programming, you should always use comments, as it is a good method of looking at other people's code. And from a teacher's perspective, you should teach this to your students as well, especially when you set out programming questions. You should teach them to code out comment out not every line necessarily, but for the major components or the major aspects of the code, it should be commented as to what they are trying to achieve within that comment. Whether it is right or wrong, you will have a better understanding of what the thinking was behind their coding. Okay, so as you can see there, I mentioned to you the pseudocode, the comments, and then lastly, one of the requirements of this infographic is to create the corresponding flowcharts for the program that you give as well. So you observe that I have a flowchart here. It starts off on the left-hand side of the page at the start block, and it progresses, and you'll see that this flowchart, as I mentioned to you before, contains the three structures of a flowchart that can basically be used for any flowchart or any program for that matter. And those are, as you can see, a sequence. Then you have a decision structure as well. And then I've also incorporated a loop structure as well. So as part of your rubric in terms of marking, when you create this program on your flowchart, you should also incorporate these three structures, which is very important as well. Okay, so there isn't too much to this. One piece of advice is I would say keep the program simple. Do not try and create a solution or a flowchart for a complex problem. Make it a problem that is a simple problem wherein all the outcomes are defined. There are no unknown outcomes or unknown flows. Everything is a simple problem in terms of what is expected. So the reason I've made it this way is so that you can actually create something that is at the end of it, you'll be able to say, well, I've solved this problem and I've created a complete infographic for the benefit of the user. Okay, so I know this is just a few days before this assessment, but if you are still busy with this and you are having any issues with this, please reach out to me via email and I will get back to you with regards to this. Okay. I don't think there is much here besides that there, and I've already mentioned to you, please follow the rubric as a guide. You are marked based on that rubric as your assessment, okay? Uh, the other aspect that I wanted to speak to you is about your activity trackers. If you haven't already participated on ECI, please go ahead and view all the activities uh, because it is important, as you know, with regards to this course, unlike your other courses, the activity trackers and participation counts for quite a significant percentage. I have been looking at adjusting that, as you know, because of the COVID incidents and the pandemic and stuff, and some people may or may not have had data access. So I will be looking at readjusting your weighting for your participation. However, having said that, you should actually go ahead and participate anyway in all the activities that I have posted. And whether it is the reading, where you actually do the reading, or watching the videos or posting online, if there are any that you have missed out, please, please, please go ahead and complete those activities so you do not miss out on the participation marks, which is a part of this course as well. Okay, so those are the two announcements that I wanted to make out for you guys. The one was the infographic, which is due soon, and the second one being your activity trackers. Please participate in all the activities on ECI. This is very important component of this course. Okay, I don't think there is much more that I can tell you guys, and I see that there are no other participants on this current recording. However, if you are actually watching at a later time and you're watching the recorded session of this, please, if you do have a question, email me. I am on my email constantly, and I make a conservative effort to actually reply and monitor my emails, regularly, and so on and so forth. So if you do have any questions regarding the course, your marks, or any aspect of the course relating to your final mark or assessments that you have completed already, please reach out to me on email. My email is there on your slideshow, and hopefully I'll see you soon in the next session.
Said, thank you so much. I personally find the Fibonacci sequence beautiful and fascinating. You know, it's referred to as the golden ratio, and it
Yes,
occurs
yes,
throughout nature. So
yes. Yeah, you're actually right. I actually looked at this in quite detail, and I've actually come across instances where people have done research, and the one interesting place I found was in terms of trees. People have found that trees and the way leaves and branches are formed actually incorporate the golden ratio and the Fibonacci sequence and so on and so forth. So what you're saying is very true as well.
all part of the design of nature. Fascinating. I look forward to
Yeah.
chatting to you more about it over a cup of tea or coffee next time I see you at a staff meeting.
Yeah. Or the next time McDonald's opens up.
Yes, yes, that too. So thanks again for a lovely session, and we wish you well. Have a good evening.
Also wish you well, bro, and hope to see you guys soon. All the
Thanks so
best.
much. Keep well,
Cheers,
keep
man.
safe.
You too.
Bye.
Cheers.